The story Walter Komosinski, as told by Ozzie Stevens. Walter was born in Poland. He left home at the age of 13 to join the circus in Germany. He came to the U.S. when he was around 20 and was introduced to the dog game when he met George Armitage, who lived near him. Walter worked in the coal mines near Pittsburg. Lacking a formal education, he went to night school to advance himself. He passed an I.C.S. course to become a safety foreman. At this time, George Armitage had a dog called Bing that he couldn't get matched advertised in his book. Armitage boasted that Bing was the best in the country. Walter had a young dog called Jumbo. These were catchweight dogs. Walter didn't feel his dog was ready for Bing, but with a little persuasion and a few drinks, a match among friends was set up. But when Walter arrived at the pit, he felt like he was in big trouble. In the other corner stood Harry Clark and Jack Ward along with Armitage. It so happened that they got the surprise of their life when Jumbo won in 1 hour, 35 minutes when they picked Bing up. Walter had a friend, John Rufner, who had a dog called Brownie, pit weight 43 Baz. They set up a match with George Sadler, a great dogman from Mississippi. Rufner was an amateur, but Brownie won. Sadler bounced back, only to be beaten again, and yet again a third time. This third match went over 3 hours. Rufner then gave Brownie to Walter, who built his whole yard around him. All Walter's dogs were line bred on Brownie, and by 1970, all Walter's dogs were white. Some say he mixed the white bull terrier in, but regardless, they were some of the best dogs around. Komosinski's mutt was sold to Ozzie, who bred him to a granddaughter of Cotton's Bullet. Out of the litter of 4, 1 was given to Walter. The others, Ozzie's Radar, Brian's Joker, and Brian's Lulu, were absolutely outstanding bulldogs. They could all hold their own with the best dogs of today. Walter had an 85-acre farm with 3 treadmills in the barn. Any Sunday that I dropped in on him, the dogs would be running all 3 mills full blast. Walter bred and always had plenty of dogs, but you could never get one from him unless he knew you were a good dog keeper. Walter was one tough cookie. When he was 80 years old, he stopped a dog belonging to a man named Livingston in 14 minutes. Livingston took offense to Walter's stopping his dog in such a short time, so he started roughing up Walter's other dogs as he left the barn. Walter warned him twice. Then Walter let him have it with an uppercut, knocking Livingston back about 8 feet. As Livingston was getting up, Walter quickly took off his glasses, folded them in his pocket, and came in fast, hitting Livingston with a right and dropping him again. This time I stepped between the men. I grabbed Livingston to hold him back, but I didn't need to because he didn't want any more. I was afraid for Walter because of the age difference. Walter was 80. Livingston was 38. Walter probably had the best dog houses in the country. They were made out of oak 2x4s and 4x4s, completely sealed with roof coating and covered with galvanized roofs. Walter continued to match dogs until he was approaching 87 years of age. He won the last 3 matches he had before he died. He won over Texas Ron and Big Brad at 54 lbs. Males. Ron handled a hell of a dog from Texas, a stifle dog with a good mouth. But Walt's dog, Hero, was 1 step better. Hero was a grandson of the mutt dog. Match time was about 43 minutes. Walter also beat a son of Zebo out of Rocco's Cherry Bomb. When Walter took sick with circulatory and heart problems, he knew he wasn't going to make it. He instructed his neighbor Stanley to do away with all his dogs. Walter died January 30th, 1983 at age 88. I was fortunate to have been a close friend of Walter's for many years. I learned plenty from him. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, and tell a dogman or woman about the Sporting Dog Archive.